have a nice conversation with our graduates, and we're starting with the best of the best, right? You guys are the best of the best.
Definitely.
They're very humble, mashallah. That's what I love about them, right? Watch what the rest of the the graduates will say. So we have here.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ziad Al-Kafash, and this is...
Assalamu alaikum. This is Abdul Bari Mukhlis.
All right. So, unfortunately, they are one of the close students that actually I had here. So I will be making fun of them, and definitely they're not going to be making fun of me. Absolutely. That's guaranteed. Right, guys?
Never.
Yeah. All right. So let's start. Give us just a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe hobbies, something that it will be interesting to kind of like, share about you, and it doesn't matter who goes first.
So I guess I'll lead us off. My name is Ziad Al-Kafash. I love to write. I'm very good at writing. I like to think, at least. Like I said, very humble. I like science. And I decided to go to a science college, which I'll get to later.
Yep, definitely. And Abdul Bari.
As I said, I'm Abdul Bari Mukhlis, and I'm really interested in sports, and especially cricket, and I want to become a pilot.
Inshallah. So Ziad, you did actually kind of like, hinted to it. So where do you go to right now?
Alhamdulillah, today I'm going to, or not today, for the past semester I've went to Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, short for ACPHS, and I'm studying pharmacy in their 6-year PharmD degree.
Mashallah. And
I'm going to SUNY Schenectady College, and I'm studying cybersecurity networking.
Mashallah. But you said you want to be a pilot. You want to tell us a little bit about and here's the thing, guys. Abdul Bari, mashallah, is very, very shy. I mean, he's like shy. I mean, shyness and Abdul Bari, they go together. So he's gonna raise his voice a little bit, all right, so you guys can hear him, because I don't want you guys to struggle with the too loud people here, and then him, mashallah, kind of like, So
whispering.
Whispering. He's like very shy, mashallah. So Abdul Bari, a little bit about, you said you want to be a pilot, but you're going into cybersecurity.
Yes.
So you're going to be hacking planes?
No.
Flying drones.
That's my goal, to become a pilot, but for now...
I thought he said my goal to fly. I'm like, okay, fly drones. All right, okay.
Explains the degree, yeah.
I mean, my goal is to become a pilot, but for now, I want to get a degree, associate degree, for the computer science.
Yeah. And you'll be controlling planes remotely, right?
Sure.
Flying
drones, yeah.
In the future.
In the
very soon future.
I think this guy's playing a lot of games. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the environment change. Obviously, you guys were at Annur. Mashallah, like we said, especially with Abdul Bari, very, very shy, keeping to himself, right, mashallah. And then all of a sudden he goes to Schenectady Community College, where, things are a little bit different. And obviously, Ziad, college pharmacy. So let's actually switch it now. Let's actually have Abdul Bari, because I have a feeling he's going to cheat off of you.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna listen to you, and whatever he says, go, yeah, same, right? So now let's put him on the
Same.
spot. Yeah, it's like saying, yep.
What he said.
Yeah, what he said. I'm with him, right? So Abdul Bari, tell us a little bit about the environment change, and we'll try to get into more details. And now you're talking about the environment here at Annur and what you're seeing and what your experiencing at your college right now.
I mean, obviously this was an Islamic school, so Islamic environment. It changed when I go to the college. I don't have teachers like when I get in Islamic school in Annur, and
He didn't see that coming. Told you he was gonna cheat off of you.
but the same why.
It's like, why did he ask me first? And the funny thing is, I don't usually test them. I don't give them tests. So right now he's like, this is a test. It's like I get tested after I graduate.
You're being too pessimistic. Think of it as like an assignment, an activity.
Google the answer.
It's a sport.
It's a sport.
Yeah.
Brother Google.
Sheikh Google, man. It's like Sheikh Google has in mind. All right. So okay, let's go to Ziad, and then I'm going to come back to you, to Abdul, because I do have a follow-up question, and probably this where you might be able to explain first. So same thing, Ziad, the environment. How did you feel the change, and how was the change?
So going from generally a very Islamic school, right, and they have the Islamic practices, they give you time to pray, and they have like an area for you to pray, to a college that is just very study based, very focused on the learning aspect, doesn't have a lot catering to the religion at all, because it's not like Notre Dame or another
Yeah.
college that has religion as its focus. It was a big change. I did feel it definitely, but I feel like it doesn't really impact your own religion, right? Because you take the person, you put them, in United States, in Pakistan, and Russia, wherever you put them, they're still going to be a Muslim, right? As long as you have a strong faith, you're going to stay who you are. So the environment definitely changed, but I don't think the person did, at least not in a negative way.
At least for you on this. And that was actually my follow-up question, right? So what do you think, like, or what are the and it's funny because I was going to ask the question, but you kind of like got ahead of me.
Sorry.
So, which is a good thing because now we're kind of like, we're going with the flow, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you're really kind of like, heading to that direction. So maybe like, are there a few things that you could kind of like think back into, like things that you learned, or things that you took from your experience at Annur, and of course any other school, prior to, that really kind of like, strengthen your Islamic identity, that allowed you to kind of like, not just really strive in college of pharmacy, and of course for you, Alberi at Schenectady Community College. So I know, Ziad, you did start us off. So what comes to your mind when you think about your Muslim identity, what Annur might have done to help you really continue to be the person that you are, regardless of the fact that now you're actually in a college that probably, I would say, could care less about religion, right?
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement to say. And I think one of the major parts of, being a Muslim in a modern society is what's really being taught here in Annur, right? It's the idea of like contextualizing Islam in, the time that we live in today. So, teaching you about like social media, talking to people, communicating, all of that in the Islamic context. It really directly applies any interactions you might have with people at a college outside of like an Islamic environment, because it's just how you live your life, and that's what Islam is. It's a way of life.
Yeah. Everybody, anything to add? You're not cheating, but I know probably you might agree with Ziad, right? Is there
Yes.
anything to add?
I would say in Annur, or especially you and Sister Zan, that works with the student to build their faith stronger and stronger. And even it depends on the person. If their faith is like stronger, they will never mind if they're without Islamic school or Islamic environment. They will keep their faith in being in Muslim. So that's one thing I would like to add.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. So I know we talked about maybe like, maybe the religious aspect of it. Is there anything that academically that you could think back that you might have taken from Annur because of your learning experience academically that might have, probably could say, better prepared you for the work, especially the load of work that actually you guys have at the different colleges you're at?
Well, actually, funny enough, on the way here, I was talking to Abdul Bari about how I was kind of prepared for the workload of college by like the 2-year graduation program, the accelerated program, and it didn't feel like a huge increase to me. I felt like I could keep up with it, and if I just stayed ahead and did the work before it was due, I had an easy time. It wasn't particularly difficult. But I feel like when it comes to work, again, it's really recontextualizing what I already knew, because I was used to being, very ahead of, and then very ahead of like my classmates and on top, right? When I go to a larger, environment than here at a college with several thousand people in it, you get like the feel of really like being, not, I wouldn't say being put in your place, but kind of understanding your, like what you're doing and like what you need to do to improve. So like I've encountered a lot of people who I feel like are smarter than me and put in more work and more time, and they get better results as a result.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
And for me, especially English is my third language, so it was very difficult when I came and trying to learn English. In Annur, my teacher, Sister Killen, she really helped me a lot writing essays, which was a really good thing because in college it was easier for me to write because she helped me a lot. So that was really one thing that helped me in college.
And I feel like I'll kind of just use this as a bit of a jumping board to talk about both languages and writing, right? So when it comes to languages, it's quite amazing. Like it's a blessing really to be able to speak 2 languages, to be bilingual or trilingual, as Al-Bari is, mashallah.
Inshallah.
And it really helps you it really helps you have a bit of confidence, right? Because if you're struggling with English, oh yeah, I do speak a second language, and you don't want to compare yourself. So that's like some advice I want to give somebody who does speak 2 languages, and even if they have English as a second language, don't try to compare yourself with people who grew up as English as a single language. Because maybe they only have English, whereas you have 2 languages, and knowing a language well and knowing a second language at all puts you ahead of somebody who just knows a single language well. Say alhamdulillah and try to,
I don't know. That's great. Actually, it's one thing that, my intention was to ask questions, but one thing I actually liked, and obviously you guys can tell they're friends. And one of the things, to be honest, that I felt you guys had, and this is the culture you guys created amongst yourselves, is that support system that you guys created, that because, even though some of you guys were born and raised here, but you appreciated that culture that, others came from, because even in your household, you do have that diverse culture. And you kind of like really saw that as an advantage, as something that, to be celebrated rather than to be kind of like, ashamed for that, English is not my first language. And that, credit goes to you guys because you created that environment at Annur. And it was like more of like a family environment, which the funny thing takes me to the next question. What is the one, or maybe what are the few things that you guys miss about Annur? Moment of silence.
Well, actually, I feel like I should let Abdul take this one off.
There are many things, but one thing is my teachers and my friends. I miss them a lot, so I don't get the vibes from my college professors, which I was getting here. Especially brothers say, hey, we used to joke a lot, and
we still do.
Yeah.
We still do.
Whenever you visit.
The occasion.
All right. How about you, Ziad?
Well, I feel like the biggest thing I'm really like missing in a bigger college where I go there and I stay for like 9 hours is being like surrounded by Muslims and people who have the same beliefs as you, and being able to like talk about Islam and other truly important parts of your life that are just kind of, I wouldn't say put to the side, but they're not exercised in a college that's just about learning about.
Yeah, and I'm going to add something that these guys are not mentioning, especially for Ziad, because he was in our accelerated program. So he used to spend a lot of time in my office, and he used to bully his own principal. And Abdul Bari is not innocent either. I miss those days personally myself. It was so much fun. We used to, like you said, he used to joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was, I always say, even Muhammad Mustafa, sometimes he visits like, you miss us. I'm like, I do miss you guys. That's something that I would keep saying, and I know that I do miss you guys. So I definitely miss those days, even though I got picked on, I think, more than I picked on you guys, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Coming to think about it, I think I need counseling. So our next question is, would you have done anything differently? Like, it is a tricky question, right? But let's see what the answer is. Because if I was asked that question, I think,
You'd have
I always say I appreciate my oath. I appreciate every moment that I spent, and I wouldn't do anything different. I'm not feeding the answer to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe this is because think about, especially if we have, somebody out there trying to learn from you guys. And this is general, before you went to college, would you have done anything differently? Not necessarily like, I don't know.
That's a loaded question.
It is.
There's a lot behind that. I feel like a lot of wanting to do something differently. I don't want to say like as a rule, but it's the kind of being unsatisfied with the result of doing something a certain way. So maybe you park your car in the road instead of the driveway, and then somebody bumps it. Like, oh, I wish I parked it in the driveway. So it's just you're dissatisfied with the result. So in that context, I feel that it's not much of a question in my case of being, I wish I'd done something differently. It's I wish I'd handled the result differently, right? Because you don't want to, bury yourself in regrets or like stay caught up on past things you've done. I feel like having the self-awareness and the capacity to acknowledge, well, that wasn't great. I could do better next time. I'm not happy with the result, but I have to live with it now. And this is going to be a learning experience for me. Just being able to like take from your mistakes or your failures or those things you think could have gone better and improve on them. That's, I feel, genuinely better than having it go your way the first try, especially if you're not doing it well and it goes well. You want it to do, if you do it not well, you want it to go not well, so you learn to do it better next time.
Better, That's deep.
You're welcome.
Did you notice, like, with the beard came like
wisdom.
wisdom?
So much wisdom, yeah.
So much
More maturity.
I'm blessed, like, I agree with him.
Yeah, whatever it says.
Whatever Ziad said, I'm 100%. That was not your answer, was it? I was like, it's like he went quiet. I'm like, hold on a second, we were joking.
I forgot the question. What was the question, Brother Sahid?
Is there anything that you would have done differently? Like anything that you
From Annur?
No,
just
general. Like, I'm so happy with my life.
I'm happy, alhamdulillah. Whatever I have.
Alhamdulillah. See, I knew one of you guys was gonna say that, but I appreciate both. And you know what? This is the thing. Like exactly like what Ziad said. It's like for me, I look at it and say, okay, it's a lesson, right?
Yeah.
Something that you did is like, don't dwell so much into what went wrong, but turn it into a learning experience and say, you know what? If I get a chance to, do this again, I'm definitely now I know how to do it, and that's all about life. So now in conclusion, and mashallah, I mean, Ziad, you gave us really good advice. So I don't know if maybe the beard is long enough that you could give us another advice.
Maybe when it fills in, I'll be able to give better advice.
When it fills in, we'll have one episode just for you.
Yeah.
He might be giving
Your wisdom.
khutbah on Jummah.
But see, there you go.
Yeah.
See,
Never know.
we already got you hooked up for. But is there anything in general, like an advice that you would share with anyone? Again, now this is very general. Anything that you guys would like to share with the audience?
So this is a bit meta, I think, but I'll say it anyways. When taking advice, don't think that it'll be easy, because sometimes it isn't, right? So even the advice that I wouldn't call it advice, really, just
it was a good
telling
one.
a story.
It was an advice, but
even that, like, I'm not saying it comes instantly or it's just a simple process that you do, but it's as long as you kind of like stick to it and you keep the concept in your head, you'll grow into it yourself. As long as you stay conscious of it, because you can't take advice and you're like, oh, that's really nice, and then put it on a shelf somewhere and never think about it again.
No.
But you also don't have to expect yourself to be able to act on it immediately. Just have some patience and have some like dedication to like commitment. Yeah, truly commitment. And you just keep it in your mind and you keep working on it, and it'll come eventually, inshallah.
So it's just like, as they say, like easy said than done,
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
But it could definitely be done though.
100%.
Right? Because a lot of people stop at saying, easy said than done, and then they stop. It's like, I'm not going to do it. But you say, if you stay committed, then you could do it. It's just keep that in mind that it's not, as easy as is, heard from the person advising.
And the thing about staying committed is that's not easy, but anybody can do it.
Yeah,
100% anybody can do that. Maybe you can't, stay in stride with your mistakes. That's something you might not be able to do. But being able to commit to something, you can do that.
Definitely.
Yeah, as long as you really commit to it.
Commit. I would Barry.
I will say respect for the youngsters, respect elders and youngsters. This is what I think is the most important thing in your life. If you respect other people, they will respect you. So in your life, respect is important to be given to someone else.
Yeah, and I'm gonna actually build on that, because a lot of times people, when they think, like, I joke with you guys that I get disrespected, right? And that's why a lot of parents, they say, oh, don't joke with your kids because there's going to be a lot of disrespect, right? And I enjoy joking with them, and alhamdulillah, so many of our students, and they always know the line, right? Not to be crossed. And even if mistakenly the line gets crossed, easily they could take that step back and say, I think I might have crossed the line. And that's that's one thing that unfortunately I feel people are sometimes on the two extremes. Either there's that alhamdulillah good relationship that I have with you guys, or like they feel like disrespect is part of the conversation. No, it could be very respectful, and it could be very alhamdulillah mutual love and care and fun, right?
Yeah.
Just like we enjoyed this podcast, and I think we didn't disrespect each other.
I don't
I
think so.
don't. I hope not.
I
Right.
hope not, yeah.
But really, I thank you guys for for being here today, and thank you for taking part in this. And inshallah, this is our first episode of the series here, and inshallah, we will see you guys the following week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Someone.